Phillies are 3-4. They went 1-2 versus Cincinnati since we last spoke. 2-2 versus Washington. Last 10, they're 6-4, 71-53 overall. They're still 5 games up on the Mets, 8 games back of Milwaukee for the number 1 seed. How are you guys viewing Philly, especially ahead of next week's big matchup against the Mets that might decide what's going on?
You could argue, I mean, I don't want to say argue, but it's possible that the Phillies lost Zach Wheeler for the season. Like, he's dealing with a blood clot issue, and we're at the mid to late August point, and who knows? Like, it is very possible that he, obviously, for his health, needs to sit for the rest of the year. And that would be, in terms of baseball speaking, a massive blow to the Philadelphia Phillies in their World Series chances, because they were one of the 2 best odds teams to win the NL and represent the NL in the World Series with Zach Wheeler healthy, especially now that they had Duran. They had an injury scare with Duran where he was like carted off, but he ended up being fine. So, like, sigh of relief there. But
when I saw that, I thought that was very Phillies closer curse.
Without Wheeler, I don't know. The one thing that I would say if I was a Phillies fan going into the postseason, I was very confident in our first 4 pitchers in terms of Wheeler, Luzardo, Suarez, and Sanchez, if I was a Phillies fan. Now Nola's got to get back in there, and he's been pretty horrendous this year. He's coming off of an injury, so maybe he was hurt to open the year and he took the time to recover, but that is a massive blow for the Phillies in the long term if Wheeler cannot get back.
Yeah, the Phillies, I mean, the way the Mets are reeling definitely, makes things a little bit easier down the stretch when it comes to that. Now, I still don't feel easy regarding the whole Duran thing. I get, it's a ball off the leg, carted off, so you figure he's okay if he says he's 100% like he is saying. But I'm kind of just on the team of, you don't just do that for no reason. I would still be a little concerned of something happening down the road. And, look, when you look at things with the Phillies, yeah, Wheeler is a big part of that rotation, but pitching depth is something that they've had. So it's not a huge concern. Like,
I don't think it's a huge concern for the intermediate, but going into the playoffs, if they can't have him, like that.
Yes, it's a problem once you get to the Dodgers. It's a problem once you get to the Dodgers. You need every single piece you have to play that team. But I don't know. I feel better about the Phillies than I have for most of this season.
And I just feel that losing Wheeler matters. We still have a month and a half left of the season. The divisions are not locked up. The Mets have a chance. They're 5 games back. That's not a tremendous amount of ground to pick up.
I think your ace, the Phillies won the division, though, going against that Mets lineup or that Padres lineup in the postseason. Like that, having Wheeler for that matters.
Yeah. And Wheeler was, a Cy Young candidate. Not going to say he was the favorite, but he was in that consideration. He was going to get Cy Young votes. He probably still will. But even beyond how it affects the Phillies, a blood clot, could lead to a stroke or an aneurysm or a
heart. That's again why they have to be why he has to be super cautious, and that's why I'm floating out the idea that could be it. I mean, we all hope that it's not, obviously, but it's unpredictable. And how long it lasts.
You want to err on the side of caution, especially because you want him back healthy for next year too. The Phillies will still be in contention next year. I have no doubts about that. So if you have to go for the rest of this season without him and hope that he heals for next year and for the rest of his own life, that's the way you need to go, and not rush him back for October or, the second playoff series or the third with the World Series. Do right by him, because that also gets you a lot of good press as a team with other free agents, and it's just the right thing to do.